Alrighty, what's up guys, it's Rascal here, back again with another video. So with all the hype of Valorant coming out recently, I spent 22 hours in Twitch streams so that I could get access to the game's beta, so that I can bring you guys a nice detailed guide. Now the title of this video is Ultimate Guide, so what that means is I'm going over pretty much everything you need to know going into playing Valorant, or if you're just instantly getting destroyed while you're playing Valorant, these tips will help you a lot. So we're going to be going over this video in 3 sections. Section 1, what agent is best for you? There's so many different agents, and with everyone having such different playstyles, there's agents to fit your playstyle. So we're going to be going over which one is best for you. After that, we're going to be focusing on what are the best guns at what point in the game, because you do have more credits the later you get into the game. And lastly, I've got my tips and tricks which will help you stay alive in Valorant and get some kills and help your teammates. So without further ado, let's go ahead, pop into what is the best agent for you. Now, I obviously can't go over every single agent one by one and discussing this, or else this video will be like 30 or 40 minutes long, and I know you guys don't want that. So what I did was I ended up making a chart, as you can see on your screen right now, and I will link this in the description so that you guys can have a look at it yourselves, or you can just pause the video right here. Now, as you can see, I have all the agents separated into certain categories. We have team player, strategic, aggressive, and passive players. So that's pretty much every single playstyle right there. So basically how this chart works is you basically answer questions, kind of. So let's say you're an aggressive player. Go down, follow this list. Are you the guy who always wants kills? Are you the person who likes a lot of mobility? Or are you more tactical? If you're really aggressive and you're only playing to get kills really, I would go for Phoenix, as he does have the best abilities for getting easy kills. If you want mobility, there's no better class than Jet, as she can fly around and literally zoom across the map in like 2 seconds. And lastly, we have tactical. So if you chose tactical, you would go ahead, follow this line down to here, and choose from one of these 2 characters. Would you rather be unpredictable or be the quote-unquote explosive specialist? And then once again, we can do the same for passive. Go ahead, follow the passive line down. Do you like to control the field more? Are you more tactical or defensive? From those 3, you can choose your character, and just same for the other ones. So because you can party up in Valorant, I've been kind of thinking about what is the optimal squad for Valorant. Now, we're pretty much too early in the game to actually think of that, but I've made a more generalized guide. So obviously you need a healer. We're just going to go ahead, put a healer in your squad, which there's only one to choose from. Then I believe you would want 1 strategic, 1 passive, and 2 aggressive. For this would be the most optimal squad, in my opinion, as of right now. But things can change in the future. This is literally 4 days after the games come out. So if you're watching this like a month from now, things might have changed. But yeah, once again, this image will be linked in the description if you want to just download it or something. Go ahead, feel free. Let's go right on to our next section, which is what is the best gun in Valorant. Now, Valorant actually did a really good job at balancing all the guns, but there is one that takes the lead by quite a bit, actually. So if you just want the plain answer, what is the best gun in Valorant? It is the Valor. This gun is insane. It one-shots to the head from any range, but does only a 36 body shot. So you really need to go for the headshots. It is extremely accurate, and it is the AR at the very bottom of the shopping list. Now, this gun is not insanely expensive, so if you do win your first 2 rounds, you should be able to afford this along with full shields and abilities, but obviously you can't get this your first and second rounds. So now we're going to go in a little more depth. What is the best guns for certain situations? There's really not much mid-game, but we will get into that as well. So first round, you have enough money to buy any single gun. So first round, no one is going to have any shields because it's just not worth it to buy shields at that point. You need a decent gun for your first round. So that being said, you should definitely go for the Sheriff. If you can hit a headshot, this will one-shot anyone in the first round, but it will take all your credits the first round, so you won't have any money to buy abilities. Now, if you're not a fan of the Sheriff, maybe you don't like how slow it fires, I would definitely go with the Ghost, but definitely go with one of those 2. Don't get the shotgun. Don't stick with your normal pistol just so you can get all abilities. Go with either the Ghost or the Sheriff. Now, the Ghost has a faster fire rate, but does less damage with the Sheriff, which is why I'm saying the Sheriff is better, because you can get that one-shot headshot. And once you get really good at aiming, that's going to be extremely important. Alright, nice, you just won a round. So now you have enough money to get full shields, all abilities, and a good selection of guns. Now, when choosing a gun for the mid-game, when you don't quite have enough to get the really good guns, do not get a shotgun. Those shotguns have their perks. Don't get them. The only shotgun, if you ever were to get one, would be the Bucky, and only use the right click ability on it. But shotguns in this game just aren't that good. You have to hit so many pellets with them for them to be worth it, that you'd have to be just insanely accurate, and at this point there's no advantage to that. What you want to go with here is the SMG. Now with SMGs you have two options. Get the Spectre if you have enough money, but please get an SMG over a shotgun. So though the Spectre has a slower fire rate, the Spectre will be your best bet in this mid game. Alright, we're in the late game. We're about 6 or 7 rounds in. You have enough money to buy pretty much any gun. What do you get? Go ahead, buy your full shields, buy your abilities. Then do I go for a sniper, an AR, or an LMG? So as of right now, none of the LMGs really have any perks to them. There's no meta around them yet. Now, there may be one that forms in the future, but as of right now, you just don't need a 100 bullet magazine. So now it's down to either getting an AR or a sniper. Quick disclaimer, in the late game, don't get an SMG or a shotgun. They are cheaper options made specifically for the early game. So should I get a sniper or a rifle? In all honesty, even though the operator can one-shot no matter what, get the Vandal. Now using the Vandal takes a good amount of aim. You do need to be really good at hitting shots, but it does a solid 150 damage from up to 50 meters away, and you're never going to be fighting someone more than 50 meters away. Because of this, the Vandal is much more reliant than the operator. Now, if you were to choose a sniper, go ahead, get the operator, don't get the Marshal. The Marshal doesn't do nearly enough damage for it to be worth it. You can only one-shot kill with headshots. But the Vandal is just so much better because you do get that one-shot headshot, and it can be used at close range as well. Now, I've heard a lot of debate going on whether or not the Phantom or the Vandal is the best. Now, me and one of my friends got into a custom match and did some testing and tested them both out. The Phantom just doesn't have the range that the Vandal has. Though the Phantom does have a faster fire rate and a larger magazine, that comes with a cost, which is you only can one-shot headshot from 15 meters or closer, meaning it's better for close range, but you don't get that far range aspect with it. With the Vandal, on the other hand, it is the same at any range. There's no bullet drop off, meaning you don't have to worry about what range you use it at. So as you can see, the Vandal definitely comes out on top here. If you're just insane with a sniper, go ahead, get the operator. With the operator, it is a little bit different than most snipers because it can one-shot the body, meaning you don't have to go for the smaller target, which is a headshot, which does give it a little bit of advantage for close range, but still the Vandal's gonna be much better overall for any situation that you're caught in. Alright, so now we're on to our third section of this guide, and it is time for my personal tips and tricks. So I've been playing Valorant a ton and also watching other streamers, content creators play Valorant, and I've been kind of studying what works best. So in Valorant, there's a few really small things that are actually going to cause you to get a lot more wins. First off, you don't need to aim down sights hardly at all in this game. If you're standing relatively still, your gun is almost as accurate hip firing as it is actually scoped down. What the scoping down mainly does is it reduces a little bit of spray, but that's only after you've taken a few shots that actually does anything. Plus, when you're aimed down sights, you move slower, so if you need to go around a corner really fast, you can't do it. You won't be able to do it fast enough until you're dead. Keep in mind this isn't a game like Fortnite or Minecraft where you have to take an unrealistic amount of damage to die. This is Valorant, a completely different game. You die in potentially one shot to an AR. So by doing a hip fire rather than aiming down sights, you're able to move faster and be just as accurate for a couple shots. So when you're going for those peaks, you don't have to worry about dying as easily. The only time you should really be aiming down sights is if you're waiting for someone to peek out from somewhere really far away. But still at that, your gun is just as accurate at hip fire. I can guarantee if you're watching any of the big streamers play Valorant right now, they are not aiming down sights hardly at all. And I was kind of confused about that at first, but you can see your crosshair, how much bloom there's gonna be. And when you're just walking still, it's not that much. Alright, now on to tip number 2. So, before I tell you what it is, have you noticed how loud footsteps are in this game? You can track people down just by footsteps so easily. Because of that, you need to be sure if there's any enemies nearby, you are shift walking. Unless if you're in combat, your finger should be on that shift key pressing it down, so you will move a little bit slower, but you won't make any footstep noise at all. Meaning your enemy can't predict if you're about to go around a corner, which ultimately keeps you alive and gives you more of an advantage. The only instances where you should be knife out running is when there's 2 guys at A, your teammate just died, you are at B, you're the only one left, you have to get over, defuse the bomb, something like that. A time when you know you have to run. Or right before the game starts when the barrier hasn't dropped, your enemies can't hear any footsteps. But you have no idea how many times I've been able to track people just by footsteps recently because people don't really know strategies yet in Valorant. So yeah, if you just apply that tip, you will notice you're getting a lot more kills. Third tip, never go around a corner unless if your gun is completely out. Guns in Valorant take a lot longer to pull out than in a lot of other games, and because you can die so fast, it is crucial that you're able to get off shots as soon as you see an opponent. People corner camp a lot in this game, and because of that, when you turn a corner and your knife is out, you're better off just going for a knife stab than actually trying to pull out your gun. Or if your gun is still being pulled out, you can easily be killed right before you're even able to shoot. And my last tip, know your agent. You really only need to be focusing on one agent right now to get good at. Now, to find which agent's best for you, I would go down my guide that I showed previously. And guys, please keep in mind that it's just a guide. You don't actually have to use that character. I'm just trying to help you guys figure out who would be best for you. But once you know your character, you know where you stand. Now, what I mean by that is if you're playing Breach or Brimstone or a character that really kind of hangs back a little bit more and just tries to support the team, you don't need to be the one carrying the spike, and you don't need to be the one taking shots for the team. That is up to the aggressive players. In my opinion, the best characters to have the spike would be Jett and Omen, as Omen can teleport around, getting him out of sticky situations easily, and with Jett being able to get out of pretty much any situation that she needs to. Also, if you're a healer, you don't need to die. You're the one that needs to stay alive so that you can get that resurrect ability, or just heal teammates when they're low. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial on Valorant. I'm loving this. Let me know if you guys want me to do any more in-depth videos in the future, maybe on specific characters or something. But yeah, be sure like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, or if you felt you learned something interesting. I will be posting a lot more Valorant content, Fortnite content, even some Warzone content maybe in the future. I've been playing that game some lately. So yeah, just stay tuned for all that, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.